gender, and my pronouns are she and her, and along with our lead minister, Reverend Krista Taves, welcome to Eliot Chapel. Joining us this morning is Suzanne Lay-Lauren, she's right there in the front, for Sunday Pastoral Care. See her after the service if something is weighing on your heart. If you have young children staying with you in the service, and they or you get restless, you can go into Fellowship Hall, where there is a live feed of the service, and children can run around all they want. There are also snacks for all after service in Adams Hall, but today is actually chili after the service, and there is potluck, or chili afterwards, so for everyone. Say it again. And board games. Thank you. And board games. A special welcome to our guests. Thank you for being here. This morning, Jenny Anderson is in the back, and she's waving in the back, and she is our welcome person today. She can answer any questions you have about our congregation, and please look for her in Adams Hall after the service. Also, there are guest forms at both entrances to the sanctuary and the QR code on the screen so that we can stay in touch. Please join us for coffee hour and take a blue cup so we'll be sure to welcome you. If you are a member or friend, look for the blue cups and be sure to personally welcome our guests. Our online coffee hour is at 1:30 today. And now, I invite you as your wish to join in our welcome by responding with "You are welcome here" at the end of each statement. If you are Black, brown, white, indigenous, APIA, whatever your origins, you are welcome here. If you are an immigrant, a refugee, or a person without documentation, you are welcome here. If you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. If you have a disability, visible or invisible, or are neurodiverse, you are welcome here. If you've been here 100 times or you just came today, you are welcome here. If you want for nothing or struggle each day to make it through, you are welcome here. No matter whom you love or what your gender identity, you are welcome here. For this is a community of diversity, of love, and of justice, and it is good to be together. Now, may we enter into the spirit of worship. Our symbol is the flaming chalice, with the bowl representing the beloved community and the flame, the spark of the divine that burns in each of us. These chalice-lighting words are by Maureen Caloran. For every time we make a mistake. For every time we make a mistake, we decide to start again, we light this chalice. For every time we are lonely and we let someone be our friend, we light this chalice. For every time we are disappointed and we choose to hope, we light this chalice. Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, Where You Go, I Will Go, and remain standing for our congregational covenant.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, beloved. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, beloved. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, children. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, children. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, children. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, children. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, kindred. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, kindred. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, kindred. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, kindred. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine.
In Unitarian Universalism, covenants are the sacred promises we make for how we want to be with one another. Please join me in reading our congregational covenant. As a free congregation, we promise to one another our mutual trust and support. To create beloved community, we promise to be kinder to each other than we have to be, to listen fully to each other with an open mind and heart, to speak responsibly and respectfully, and to find ways to improve our church for all members and friends. Please be seated. Every week, we share our offertory with a community organization that reflects our values and commitment to service. This month, we are sharing the plate with the Migrant and Immigrant Community Action Project, or MICA. MICA is a community organization committed to working with low-income immigrants to overcome barriers to justice. The MICA project utilizes legal services, organizing, advocacy, and education to promote the voice and human dignity of immigrant communities. As we prepare to give, we welcome the presence of children in the sanctuary. Together, young and old, we practice generosity, knowing that our gifts create ripples of love and care in our community. You're welcome to donate through the plate or through the QR code on the screen in order of service, or text Eliot and shared plate, one word, plus the amount you wish to give to 73256. A link in the reply text will take you to our secure giving platform where you can complete the transaction. May we be a generous people. Please join me in dedicating this offering with the unison words printed. To the work of the church, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Thank you.
Good morning. It's nice to be with you after a week of study leave, for which I'm exceedingly grateful that it is offered. And I'd like to invite our children and young at heart to come forward for a time for all ages. For those of you who want to watch the book, you can sit next to me, but the story's also going to be up there. So if you want to watch it up there, you can sit on the floor so you can see the screen better. All right. You want to come and slide over so everybody who wants to see can see the book. There we go. Wonderful. So today, we're going to talk about how none of us ever make mistakes, right? Never, not me. Not me either. We're going to tell a story about the girl who never made mistakes. For Beatrice Bottomwell, Friday began like every other day. She matched her socks, and of course, she put her shoes on their proper feet. She remembered to feed her hamster Humbert his favorite food, broccoli. And when she made a sandwich for her brother Carl's lunch, she used exactly the same amount of peanut butter as jelly. When she stepped outside to greet her fans, she didn't forget to say good morning and thank you. They asked if she made her bed. She had. They asked if she forgot to do her math homework. Nope. What about tonight's talent show, they asked. I'm ready, said Beatrice with a smile. After all, her juggling act had won 3 years in a row. Most people in town didn't even know Beatrice's name. They just called her the girl who never makes mistakes, because as long as anyone could remember, she never did. Unlike Beatrice, Carl made lots of mistakes. He ate his crayons and drew with his green beans. He danced with his hands and played the piano with his feet. Carl loved to make mistakes. At school, Beatrice was on a cooking team with her 2 best friends, Millie and Sarah. To make their giant rhubarb muffins, they needed 4 eggs. Beatrice went to the refrigerator and carefully chose the biggest, eggiest eggs she could find. But on the way back, her legs slipped out from under her. The eggs went flying. Beatrice was about to make her first mistake. But she didn't. That was close, thought Beatrice. Sorry, Beatrice, I dropped a piece of rhubarb. Don't mention it, Illy. For the rest of the school day, Beatrice could not stop thinking about her almost mistake. On her way home from school, Beatrice walked Millie and Sarah ice skating in the park. Come join us, said Millie. It's fun, said Sarah. Beatrice watched them slip and slide on the frozen pond. Millie and Sarah laughed as they wobbled on the ice. No thanks, said Beatrice. At supper, Beatrice barely touched her food. Is everything all right, kiddo? Said her father. I'm worried I'll mess up tonight, said Beatrice, and everyone will be watching. Worry? You don't make mistakes, he said with a smile. Beatrice tried to smile too. After supper, Beatrice got ready for the talent show. First, she woke Humbert from his nap. Next, she got the salt shaker from the kitchen table. Finally, she filled a balloon with water. The school auditorium was packed. Beatrice felt her stomach jumping around inside her. Beatrice waited for her juggling music to begin. That's her! That's the girl who never makes mistakes, said a woman. Oh, we know she'll be perfect, said a man. When the music started, she tossed Humbert into the air. Next, she added the salt shaker and finally the water balloon. Beatrice didn't miss a beat. The crowd clapped with delight. But Beatrice noted something odd about the salt shaker. The specks falling out of it were not white. Achoo! Humbert was so surprised by his sneeze that he grabbed the water balloon with his claws. Kablooey! Humbert, pieces of water balloon, and pepper rained down on top of Beatrice. For the first time in as long as anyone could remember, Beatrice made a mistake. And it was a big one. The music stopped. Beatrice didn't know what to do. Cry? Run off the stage? The crowd sat stunned. They couldn't believe that the girl who never makes mistakes made a mistake. Beatrice looked up at Humbert. He looked back at her. His hamster fur was soaked and speckled with bits of balloon. Beatrice let out a giggle. The giggle grew into a chuckle, and the chuckle became a laugh, and the people in the crowd looked at each other and then back at Beatrice, and they began to chuckle and giggle and then finally roar with laughter. Beatrice and the audience laughed until they couldn't remember why they were laughing. That night, Beatrice slept better than she ever had. In the morning, no fan greeted Beatrice. When she got dressed, Beatrice, for no reason at all, put a polka dot sock on one foot and a plaid sock on the other. Beatrice and Carl made sandwiches. This time they put the peanut butter and jelly on the outside. They called it an outside, inside out PB&J. Lucky was messy and delicious. Later, Beatrice found Millie and Sarah skating in the park. They fell a lot and laughed. Now people no longer call her the girl who never makes mistakes. They just called her Beatrice. And that is the end of the story. We're going to sing you off to your classrooms. So I invite you, the people who never make mistakes, to join with me today in our prayer. We are in heavy times, so this prayer is called a prayer for hopelessness. And I invite you, as you are willing and able, to join with me in the spirit of prayer and meditation with 3 deep breaths together as one beloved community, united in our common resilience. The days that come and carry away your spirit, your spark, bow down. Lay your head on the hard earth and let your brokenness join the death that is stirring there. Life rebels against death, takes the very dust of our bones and reweaves it into glory. You were made for life, and life does not intend to let you go. But rest you can. Decay and falling away from ourselves are part of that process. If you need to fall apart, then do. For life will hold you in that too. We'll teach you how to desiccate and blow away, and then we'll call you back from the 4 corners of the earth. And we'll renew you with the water of the tears of others who, like you, weep for all that is lost. She will breathe back into you the breath that washes from the mouths of children laughing, from the lion's roar, from the exhalation of trees. You will be reborn into the arms of beloveds, and together we will sing a new song. Let us enter into a time of silence. Let us speak the names of those we would hold in our love and care. Let us hold in our hearts those in our community who are afraid to leave their homes, who are afraid to go to work, who are afraid to go to the grocery store, who are afraid to take their children to school. Let us commit ourselves to their liberation. For life will breathe back into us the breath that washes from the mouths of children laughing, from a lion's roar, from the exhalation of trees. We will be reborn into the arms of beloveds, and together we will sing a new song. Amen and blessed be. And I invite us now into a time of musical meditation with our hymn 17, Every Night and Every Morn. Please remain seated.
Every night and every morn, some to misery are born. Every morn and every night, some are born to sweet delight. Joy and woe are woven fine, clothing for the soul divine. Under every grief and pine runs a joyless silk entwine. It is right, it should be so. We were made for joy and woe, and when this we rightly know, safely through the world we go.
Our reading this morning is by Pema Chodron. Things falling apart is a kind of testing and also a kind of healing. We think the point is to pass the test or to overcome the problem, but the truth is, things don't really get solved. They come together and they fall apart. Then they come together again and fall apart again. It's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Room for grief, for relief, for misery, for joy. This ends our reading.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. It may feel odd as I tell you this second story, after featuring a girl who needs to be perfect and then gets stronger when she makes mistakes, and a reading that says falling apart can be a kind of healing. But bear with me, because it will all come together. Those of you who are engineers may already know this story. It starts in 1903 with the long-awaited construction of a cantilever bridge across the St. Lawrence River at Quebec City. A cantilever bridge can cross wide spans of water so that you don't need a middle support. The Martin Luther King Bridge here is a cantilever bridge, and the Eads Bridge here are also cantilever bridges. And the Quebec Bridge project was important because there was at this point in time no way to cross the St. Lawrence River from the north to the south except by ferry or when the river froze. And it was a major transportation and trade route between Canada and the United States and the rest of the country. This project had been talked about for 50 years, but for whatever reason, it has never happened. All kinds of things got in the way, probably a lot of it ego. But finally, the federal, provincial, and municipal governments were aligned. Public support was high after the Prime Minister promised to build the bridge in his election campaign. There was the political will, a contracting company ready to go, and the money to make it happen. They were just waiting for the engineers to green-light the design so that they could start building the longest cantilever bridge in the world. They did not green-light the plan. The assistant engineer to the chief engineer found significant problems. And when he shared these concerns with the Federal Department of Railways and Canals, he was dismissed as overreacting, and he was sent packing. The chief engineer, having lost his assistant, then appealed for another assistant engineer to help him properly complete the review because he took the concerns seriously. His request was refused, and he was replaced with a chief engineer who gave the federal cabinet the answer they wanted. The plans were good, and construction could begin. As the work progressed, though, more and more issues were discovered, but the chief engineer kept assuring everyone that they could be addressed with minor adjustments. But there were more and more of these minor adjustments and more recalculations that didn't seem to fit together, but no one wanted to be reminded of what the original engineers had been telling them. No one wanted to take the risk to sound the alarm, so they kept making changes, and they kept constructing the bridge. But in the summer of 1907, the on-site engineering team noticed that some of the beams seemed to be warping. They notified the chief engineer, who once again insisted that the problems were minor. The team wrote letter after letter to the chief engineer, insisting that construction stop. And finally, the head of the team, totally frustrated, traveled days to see the chief engineer in person and present the seriousness of the situation. And finally, the chief engineer listened and agreed to stop construction. The message was sent, but it didn't arrive in time. On August 29th, 1907, the bridge collapsed in 15 seconds. It is said that the sound of twisting metal could be heard as far as 10 miles away, and 75 workers died. So the theme of this month is resilience, which is the ability to stay grounded in the face of disappointment, despair, injustice, cruelty, loss, detours, all the things that can make life twist and turn, all the things that can make life hard. Resilience is about having grit, But that's not all it is. Resilience is also flowing with change. Resilience is about perspective and values. Resilience has an elasticity factor. It is about accepting reality and defying reality. It is about accepting detours while staying on course. It's about not losing sight of your core values while welcoming their evolution. So you're probably wondering then why? Why were the warnings of the plan not heeded? And why 4 years later, in the face of indisputable evidence that things were very, very wrong, were they dismissed again? Well, there are all kinds of reasons, and they're going to sound familiar. The politicians were worried about political fallout and public criticism if the project was delayed, because after all, it had been promised in the federal campaign. They were worried about losing morale. They also wanted to avoid a second workers' strike because there had been a first that had already pushed up costs. And here's the big one. They didn't want to go over budget. The engineers who green-lighted the project worried about missing deadlines, upsetting their bosses. Some of the engineers with the most decision-making authority were inexperienced, which may have been part of why they approved the plan. And as things started to fall apart, they were hesitant to ask for help or consider other options. They didn't want to look stupid. The chief engineer wasn't even on site and depended on his on-site engineering team, but he was too proud to listen to them as they kept him updated. And what they were all worried about was things falling apart. Deadlines, budgets, political support, political will, their workers, their jobs, the status, the perception of incompetence, and their ability to attain perfection by building the longest cantilever bridge in the world. So instead of being elastic, moving with the twists and turns, they stayed tunnel-focused on the desired outcome in the desired timeline with a desired budget. So that collapsing bridge highlighted their inability to respond to the inevitable twists and turns with resilience. Let's recall the words of Pema Chodron from our reading. Things falling apart is a kind of testing and also a kind of healing. We think the point is to pass the test or to overcome the problem, but the truth is that things don't really get resolved. They come together and they fall apart, and then they come together again and they fall apart. And it's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all this to happen. The people responsible for the Quebec Bridge didn't allow the right things to fall apart. Resilience is making room for the right things to fall apart so that the healing can happen. And then you continue on, stronger than before. We are in times that are calling us to be very, very resilient because the wrong things are falling apart. First Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, due process, bodily autonomy, basic human decency, and I hesitate to say this, but even the Second Amendment rights. You know the things. The wrong things are bending under a weight they can't hold. And those twisting metal cantilevers plunging into the St. Lawrence River can be heard for miles and miles and miles. And we feel these wrong things falling apart, and many of us are hurting and scared and enraged. We want to do the right things. We want to be part of the healing, protecting lives, keeping families and children safe, making sure people have food and clothing and shelter and constitutional rights and decent incomes and sick pay and politicians who respect us and listen to us. We want to raise kids who center love, who can let the right things fall apart, who won't think they have to be perfect to be worthy, valued, treasured, loved, respected. One of the misunderstandings about resilience is that it's about personal toughness and inner strength. You dig deep into yourself and grab hold of that grit and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and face the world ready to take it on again. But Soraya Chemaly, a Bahamian American author, activist, and feminist, writes this about resilience. In spectacular arrogance, our mainstream vision of resilience encourages us to ignore, minimize, and even punish the desire for our greatest resilience assets: interdependence, collective versatility, and shared care. Instead of revealing our relationships to one another, our environments, and the systems we live in, this vision highlights and glorifies self-sufficiency, limitless positivity, and individual strength against all odds. It makes us less resilient, not more. And that's how it is that the cantilever bridges of our social systems and our lives and our loves and our communities twist and fall into the river over and over and over again. This is how I imagine resilience. And just to let you know, I will be using some theistic language to share my imaginings. As an agnostic, I firmly believe in God about 50% of the time. And I entrust that those of you who aren't theistic any percentage of the time will ground in your own curiosity and creativity. I trust in your utter brilliance to translate this for yourself. In process theology, God is an active relationship with humanity, needing us as much as we need them. And more than that, God changes through their relationship with humanity as we change through our relationship with God, because we are in this radical interdependence. We're in this sacred, ongoing, evolving relationship of being shaped into existence through each other. We break each other's hearts and we heal them. Neither exists without the other. We are radically interdependent. When things fall apart on this plane of existence, it can feel like our connection becomes brittle and frail, even severed. And in those moments, our resilience comes from our love for each other, our yearning to hold each other through everything. So if one of us becomes distrustful, weak, and cynical, pulled back into the addiction we have to the illusion of separateness and self-sufficiency, that's when the other draws closer, sharing the beating of its heart until our hearts start beating again. And then when our hearts beat in unison, and this process of being pulled together and apart, this is the sacred, ever-evolving journey of resilience. So when shit gets real, which is what is happening right now, and we become weak and cynical, paralyzed by fear, yearning for revenge, tempted by quick, easy solutions, wanting to separate from each other so we don't get hurt, and we see those cantilever beams starting to warp. This is when God, who is shaped by our every thought, action, and emotion, yearns for us and weeps for us and misses us in a way that is beyond imagining, and reaches out with mythologically expansive arms that draw us in so powerfully that the wreckage of a collapsed cantilever bridge can be lifted out of the river's current and lovingly restored. Now remember, it's not just God who can do this, But we can too, because this is an interdependent, loving relationship of co-equals, creating the divine, spinning the divine, second by second by second by second. Translate God into the spark of the divine, or the human spirit, or the creative consciousness, and this becomes a pluralist theology, a pluralist Unitarian Universalist theology that is accessible to all, that welcomes all, that holds us all in its healing embrace. We are drawn into resilience by our yearning to love and trust each other. That's it. And in this resilience, we can do the slow, often painstaking work of sustaining a wholeness that is already withstanding the relentless violence of our time and moving us towards justice and healing. Going back to our story. So another attempt was made to build the Quebec Bridge in 1916, but obviously they had not yet learned or taken into themselves truthfully the total interdependence of resilience, and it too collapsed, killing another 13 people. So 88 people died trying to build this bridge that people who were not impacted, who were not engineers, who were the wealthy, wanted, because they wanted to build the longest cantilever bridge in the world. But the final attempt in 1919 was successful. And the Quebec Bridge remains the cantilever bridge with the longest span in the world. So if you ever have the privilege to be in Quebec City, cross the cantilever bridge and think about those who died building it, the egos of those who wanted it built, and the humility of those who finally did the job right, allowing the right things to fall apart so that a bridge could be built. The Quebec Bridge stands as a stark reminder of how challenging it is for human beings to ground in resilience when everyone is protecting what they perceive as their own self-interests. With 88 deaths, the two failed attempts, though, marked a turning point in the field of engineering with the implementation of more responsible practices, oversight, and required review. And out of the strong desire for this never to happen again, a new ritual was developed for Canadian engineers when they graduate. It is said that the metal from the 1907 collapse was used to fashion iron rings for all the graduates of Canadian engineering schools, who to this day are told the story of the Quebec Bridge collapse as they receive their ring. The faceted ring is worn on the pinky finger of the dominant hand so that as the engineer works, and remember this ritual was designed when it was still paper and pencil, okay? So that as the engineer works, the facets will drag across the paper, reminding them to be humble in their work because lives depend on them. And in that humbleness, they will have the resilience to let the right things fall apart. Delay a plan, miss a deadline, fight for a budget, protect someone's job, speak the truth, do anything to ensure that what falls apart will also heal. And their work will bring more joy, more hope, more possibility, more justice, more love, more resilience. I want us to imagine that we all wear an iron ring that drags across the paper of our lives as we inscribe it with our breath, as we inscribe it with our actions and our thoughts and our prayers and our desires and our decisions. And may they be rooted in that radical interdependence. For this is how we get up over and over again in the face of the violence of our times and move towards peace and healing and wholeness and justice. May it be so for all of us. Amen and blessed be. Thank you. Thank you. And now we're going to sing. We're going to sing about how we are a tower of strength with anxiety slipping off our shoulders and move towards healing.
There are 4 parts. We're going to learn each of the parts, and then we'll go back to the beginning, and we'll have people stay on a part so we can hear all 4 parts together. So we'll all sing it together. Then the part, this section here will stay with Krista on part 1. The middle part, please stay with Jan on part 2. This section here will stay on part 3. And then balcony, part 4. I'll start you off for them.
We are a power of strength within and without. We are a power of strength within.
Yes, they're
Please
motion.
rise. We are a power of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. You're welcome to rise. Every burden fall from our shoulders, all anxiety slip from them,
And we let
every burden fall from our shoulders,
all anxiety slip from them. We let
all fears slip away, all fears slip away. We let all fears slip away, all fears slip away. We let every shackle be loosened. We let every shackle be loosed. We let every shackle be loosened. We let every shackle be loosed. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. Tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without.
we let
Every shackle be within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within.
all together.
We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within. We are a tower of strength within and without. We are a tower of strength within. Thank you.
Thank you.
Extinguish our chalice and share our benediction. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
There's keep a place where you were. We will keep a place for you wherever you may go. We'll sustain this home of faith and love you've come to know. Go in peace, bring hope to hearts that yearn. We will keep a place for you till you return.
And now, may the Spirit of life hold you, may love bless you, and may joy find a place in your days. Love to you all. Go in peace.